Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you're watching this broadcast right around the world, a very warm welcome to Casey Stadium here in the lovely city of Casey itself. We're going to watch an absolute cracking game of indoor cricket here in the 2019 National Indoor Cricket League between the Croydon Raiders and the Casey Stars. Sitting next to me with the cans on the bonce and the mic in the mouth is Adelaide Campion. Adelaide Campion, how are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty great. How are you?
Oh, mate, I'm real good. And apparently no one calls you AC. I floated a nickname with you off air. AC, no good.
You can give it a go, see if it gets better.
What do your mates call you in the squad in all those Australian sides that you seem to make so regularly?
I occasionally get Churches because my full name's Adelaide, so City of Churches.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. That's pretty good. We're just going to quickly go through the team sheets with you. Did you want to go through the Casey Stars lineup?
Yep. For Casey Stars, we've got Mia Perrin, Alice O'Brien, Flip Leighton, Isa White, Vaish, Emily Edwards, Lucy Page, and Aisling O'Farrell.
Yeah, look, there are a couple of surnames in here that are a little bit wild, so if we do get them incorrect, certainly do let us know, and we are on social media at Cricket Australia Indoor. Jump on and let us know, and if we've got anything wrong, myself, Gary Lowe, or Adelaide Campion will fix that up. For the Croydon Raiders, we have Montana Phillips, Sarah McNulty, Emil O'Mara, Bridget Scalding, that looks like, Grace Ratney, Charlotte Teagues, Brianna Watson, and Jasmine Goulson. And we were a bit rushed there because the team sheets, we actually stole the umpires' ones. We didn't have any photocopies, and the umpires run away with them, so now we don't know.
He's getting his steps up early on.
Yeah, he certainly is. So we might get someone to get us those team sheets, I think.
Does someone want to go take a photo, maybe?
Did you want to go do that, Addie?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, Adelaide Campion, she's out. She's out of the booth. So it's all been happening here at Casey Indoor Sports Stadium. It's an absolute state-of-the-art development, and I'm sure there's a lot of you all around the country that are tuning in to see exactly what this place is all about. The Indoor Cricket National Tournament will be taking place here. You might see Adelaide Campion, our commentator, way at the back there up with the umpire. She's gone up there to get the team sheet to take a photo of them. So we've got a bit of a false start here. So this stadium is in impeccable order. It'll be O'Meara to start off for Croydon. You might see the ball hit and grip and sit up just a little bit here. The AstroTurf out on court is very brand new. You tend to see that with new indoor cricket centres or new indoor playing arenas. When that turf's quite firm and stiff, that ball will really grip in and it'll sit up and it'll stay up a little bit. Addie Campion's back in the commentary box after running all the way down the other end.
I'm back.
How you going? You all right? Did you make it?
Yeah, a bit puffed out. That's really well bowled. That's that perfect leg stump line that we really try and target.
And these two teams there in the under 14 division, Adelaide Campion?
Yes, I believe so. Yep. So it's very, very young sides out there, which is great to see. Awesome to see the development coming through the state program.
Wonderful indoor cricket shot. And there is really good structures in place here in Victoria. That growth, of course. Female pathways are on the increase, as we know, but just generally speaking, the sport of indoor cricket really starting to motor along down here in Victoria.
Yeah, it's awesome to see the coaches all pretty much playing representative cricket as well, so they're giving back to the sport. We've got Amy Jennings and Laura Shaw, Maddie Wright. It's awesome to see. Well worked in the gap. It's a good start there. 10 off the first over and did it with ease.
Yeah, these players are a little bit smaller as well, so there's going to be a little bit more space out on the court, you'll find. The ball might trickle in and find some spaces that wouldn't usually be there. And they're quite wide courts, would you say? I would say they're slightly a little bit wider than usual.
Yeah, a little bit wide. Last week we had one of our first sessions here and it was really interesting. Nets are a little bit different and the surf's a bit different, so just getting used to all of it. It's a great shot. That's hit one of those gaps we were talking about.
Straight through, rolling down, off the side net, careering into the back net for 4 runs. Casey's does move along to 14.
Oh.
And I think that could have been very well been out if that ball had trickled onto the stumps.
Yeah. You'd feel a little bit unlucky, but the bowler did well to get something on it. It's really well bowled again. It's just dipping it really late, so it's tough for the batters to judge it, and they're not sure whether to come forward to it or not.
So you just have to excuse moments of my silence as I'm writing down the team list here.
Now they're finding the gaps really well. They're just making it look easy and playing smart cricket, playing straight and hitting those gaps. And another 4. That's another big over from them. And it's not the worst thing for the bowler for her to be pitching up full and getting them driving it and trying to bring the field into play, but unfortunately for them, they've just played the shots really well and hit both corners of the net now. So Casey 22 off the first 2 overs.
No ball called there by umpire Andrew Parker. No ball front foot is the call from him. And that's another one. In the front court, was it? Going back and counting out her paces. It's something you'd traditionally see in an outdoor cricket format. Yeah, I guess they're just new to playing here, and so trying to work that out can be tough sometimes. And it is a lot of steps as well if you're a smaller human being. Yeah. And again, that's a great shot. Again, it is a front foot call, so it's Sarah McNulty who's bowling here, the number 30 for the Croydon Raiders. Oh, there's a chance. Falls safe. Both batters have really been targeting mainly that second half of the court and trying to really drill the back court. And probably would have served better just to leave that ball go. They do get the two runs, but no point throwing the kitchen sink at it. And of course here, Vicks, they generally do it pretty good. And we've got the DJ in the house. So I think this might be one of the first NICL games that we've had the DJ in. So yep, we can see Maddie right down the sideline, loving a little bit of a boogie up there. Oh, loves the boogie. Yeah, she is down there just on the 3 line. Bit of Saturday night fever. I reckon she'll try work onto the screen soon. Montana Phillips for Croydon continuing on. Desperate for a wicket here. They haven't taken one. This is the 4th over of this batting partnership, and they are starting to motor. Yeah. 43. That's a great shot again. She's got a really nice shape and just hitting those gaps and
not letting the bowlers get anything past there. And that one's going to be re-bowled. That was a wide down leg side, and they're costly in the fourth overs. Got to re-bowl them, and the skin's already on 47. Great shot again.
Yeah, just really taking the fielders out of the equation here are this batting partnership and making it difficult. They'd love a sniff. They'd love just an opportunity here, would the Raiders from Croydon, but unfortunately at this point hasn't come along.
There's one. Oh, no. And that's the batters have been batting really well, and so automatically the fielders have taken a step back and they're on the heels. And yeah, they miss chances, unfortunately, because of that. And that's the pressure that the batters have put on early on, that all the fielders are on their back foot.
Yeah, it certainly is a momentum game, indoor cricket, and when you do find yourself down on your haunches early, doesn't seem to go your way, but when you're up and about, everything you touch turns to gold. This is the last ball of this. The bail comes off, not given out. The zing bails light up down there at the striker's end. 53.
That's a fantastic start from Casey, and being a huge score of 53, people often think that they've got to take risks to get to a score like that, but that was smart batting, and they played straight 90% of the time, and it was rewarded.
Yeah, that is a very fair comment. I mean, indoor cricket's a pretty simple sport when you break it down. 2 runs off every ball, 12 runs and over. You can get to 48 if you get 2 off every ball without a dismissal. Yeah. I know it sounds so simple or easy like that. It's like, come on, mate, just hit the net. It's only 2 runs. It's right there. But you know what, when you get the dot ball, and the next one you got to get 4. And
yeah.
You know, you get out, and then the next one you got to hit a 7 to get back on track. You know, it's obviously it's not tenable, but in its most simplest form, indoor cricket certainly is that way. As I've almost completed writing down the team lists here from Adelaide Campion's phone.
Yeah, there's a few cracks in that screen as well that you've had to look through. I apologise for that.
Can I tell you something, mate? Insurance. Can you get it for your phone? Because you were in desperate need, girlfriend. Mate,
yeah.
This is horrific.
I reckon I'd drop it on average 10 times a day.
There you go. We're cooking now. So.
Great start there.
I'm a pretty ordinary multitasker, and that's a real testament to my inability to do 2 things at once. So I couldn't talk and I couldn't write down. But here we go. We've got Jasmine Goulton here, and she's going to really want to start ripping in, taking wicket. Quite a handy little bowler as well. You don't mind seeing that.
Here we go. 3rd ball. This should create a chance. Let's see if they can take it now.
So Jasmine Goulton, she's played 2 games. She's taken 2 wickets. So on an average, will take a wicket at least once in her 2 overs. And you see when I'm not writing down things, the stats begin to roll. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not writing down the stuff, I can actually get into my craft, you know. So you'd expect, it is exciting. Yeah. Hopefully the viewers at home feel the same. So you'd expect to see a wicket somewhere along in Goulton's 2 overs.
Yeah, that's another great ball in there. That sort of line's really tough to play for a batter. There's not many ways to work it.
Chance if she hits, and she does hit, and the umpire has a good hard look at it. Diving valiantly is Flip Leeton from the Casey Stars to make her ground.
Well bowled.
Caught in no man's land, or no girls' land as it might be in this instance, and another opportunity goes begging there. There's been 2 or 3 that's crept in here.
Yeah, that's a great over there. Only 4 from it and a couple of chances in there.
And quite often you'll find that if, you know, the greyhounds come out of the lids, it's gone around the bend, the horse has bolted. In those first 4 overs, you try to give a bit of firepower in that 5th, just to wrestle back that momentum. You know, and the new batting pair that's come out, they haven't yet put any kind of confidence into their game yet. They haven't faced the delivery.
It's a new start.
It is, so it's a good time to be a bit of a candle snuffer. Gillian Phillips or Gillian, or must be Gillian surely. Nanny and Q are watching Go Montana. So all the best, Montana. It's always good when Nanny's at home cheering you on.
There's been a couple of no balls already. Must be just getting used to this run up. Yeah. Really well bowled there.
Yeah, the Croydon bowling outfit, they averaged 26 additional runs for each game they played. They've played 2 games. The first game they bowled 30 extras. The second game they bowled 22. So you'd imagine it's going to be somewhere in there. And at the moment, their strike rate's well and truly above that. I'd say they're up to about 10 already, and they're only in the 6th over. So that discipline is something that I'm sure that the coaching staff of the Croydon Raiders will want to rein in.
Going through for 4. So it was up in the air for a little bit and unfortunately didn't hit the hands. You can see that there's been a lot of reward for the batters playing straight and hitting through the line. Penetrating the back court's been the main game for them so far.
68 is the total. It is looking formidable at the moment. A very hefty swing there to no avail. You know, it is slightly more difficult to gauge what a pass score would be because the athletes are a little bit younger. But generally speaking, in the women's competition, where would you be looking at, particularly on a court like this, what would be a pass score? We'll add on some GST for these players. But
yeah, the 53's really thrown me off here a little bit. No, I think you'd be aiming for 30 a pair, so 120. It's a really good score. Anything above that's tough to get. And consistency throughout the pairs is key, we've found with all the NICL games. So yes, we've got Casey have started off with 53, but now it's really important for the next three pairs to back it up. And it can be tough when the first pair makes it look so easy.
It can, but they'll be looking to capitalise on this third ball opportunity.
Non-strikers was just about at the batter before
you took
she
the
hit
words
it there.
right out of my mouth. Flip Leighton. She was on her bike. She was gone.
Should have given her a little high five on the way through.
Mia Perrin, Flip Leighton are your batters for the Casey Stars. One of the newer franchises in the National Indoor Cricket League.
There's a chance here. Almost seemed like there was too much communication there. You couldn't really, didn't know whether to go keeper, bowler. Bit of confusion. Oh, she all right?
Yeah, I think that was probably just more of a shock type value there. Of course, they are younger athletes, so there's going to be a little bit more care and concern. Unlike you, Miss Campy, if you get hit in the bonce, no one seems to mind too much. But
I get hit in the head that often that everyone just thinks it's a normal game for me.
She did turn her head on it. I don't think that there's going to be any serious injury there. But of course,
never nice.
Yeah, it is never nice, and it shocks you.
Yeah,
you know, and it is a bit of a scary thing. And I know that recently in national tournaments that we've had, the concussion type rule has been brought in.
Yeah.
You know, that ball was hit back at a great rate of knots, as we see. Well, I can see the replay on my screen. I don't think you can see it. But yeah,
she hit it pretty well.
Oh, it's come straight out of the screws. She's cost her team 5 runs, but probably that's being a little bit savage.
I wouldn't have gotten out of the way there. I would have dropped straight to the ground.
And she does seem to be okay. We're just looking at her here on the side. She does have some ice on her head, and she looks to be in semi-good repair.
It can be tough for also the batter who hit it here as well, because you feel bad even though it's not intentional, so it's tough for her being out there by herself.
Kirsty Hollingsworth. Good luck, Monty. Montana Phillips. Uncle Ads and Arnie Bub. What a name, Arnie Bub. Cool.
Love it.
Hey, Ads. Hey, Bub. Good to have your company. Montana Phillips getting plenty of support on social media, of course. leave us a line. Adelaide Campion would love to read something out for you. Cricket Australia Indoor is where you go. And so what are you up to in your cricketing career this year, Miss Campion?
So we've got our nationals in 5 weeks, I think now it is.
That's
so
coming along quick, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's crazy. It felt like just yesterday that we finished last nationals. So no, it's good. The more indoor, the better, and it's the best time of the year when it's indoor season.
And didn't it stink last week? No indoor cricket. Boo. No live stream anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I was,
Didn't know what to do with my Sunday night.
It was one of the great garbage bin fires of life last week. It stank. It was a real fish milkshake for mine. It just stunk. And of course, no Yellow Ball podcast. For those of you who may or may not be aware, the Yellow Ball podcast is the first and only dedicated indoor cricket podcast on planet Earth. You can get it on Whooshkaa, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. Get involved, Adelaide Campion. I'm sure that you're a very keen listener. You love your podcasts.
Yes, of course. Got to tune in, catch up on what's been going on. Saw you interviewing Laura Shaw before.
Yes,
yeah.
I was interviewing Laura Shaw, and there was some pretty funny stuff in that one. That'll be coming along in the next couple of weeks or two, the Laura Shaw one.
Brilliant.
And it is an absolute rib tickler. She's a pretty funny character, yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to chase up on that one.
And that, as I always do before guests come on the show, I do my homework and do some research on them. And one person in particular who helped me out quite a fair bit with that research was a Miss Bryony Polkinghorn, and she gave me all the dirt on Laura Shaw. Freely, I might add.
Good.
Absolutely freely.
Yeah.
So,
well played, Polks.
It was a really great interview, and Laura Shaw, much like yourself, Addie, really invested in the sport and giving back to the younger generation of cricketers coming through. And I know that they look up to players like yourself, and you're quite approachable and quite free with your time. So it's a really noble pursuit that a lot of players of your standard do. So congratulations to yourself and Laura. And
yeah, sure is fantastic with the kids, and they all love having her as a coach and working with her, and she's a true role model.
So as things
Well
continue
fielded.
here, searching, hunting.
Yeah, I feel like there's a wicket coming. There just seems like there's a little bit more intensity in the field. And
those deliveries just a little bit too short. It'd be a travesty if it hits the 3-net, and it does, just rolls
jinxed
away.
her there.
So, of course, if you're just joining us, this is the 2019 National Indoor Cricket League. And that is out. The first wicket's taken, and boy, didn't they need it.
It's a good celebration.
You like
They're
that?
up and about. I love a celebration. I think they are crucial. Yep, they're up and about. Can they double up here?
And well short of her ground was Emily Edwards, the replacement batter for an injured Flip Layton. And a very apt song put on by the DJ here. Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, I'm bubbling along to it.
72. The score comes back for the first time in the fielding campaign for the Croydon Raiders. And quite often, it is a bit of a cliche in indoor cricket. One wicket breeds two. You often see them come in doubles.
Yep. Like you're saying, momentum.
Charlotte T getting that breakthrough. Leg side called. The batters decide not to run. Wide called.
Just got stuck in the hand a little bit there. Dragged down short and wide.
So this is the Victoria East Women's Division. Croydon and the Casey Stars in positions 3 and 4 on the ladder, respectively. Another no ball call. It's going to be costly. Chance for a run out here would be wonderful. A big call goes up, not given out by the umpire, Sarah McNulty.
Had to be close there.
Judge for yourself as you'll see the replay at home. Coming into the front court is McNulty hits, or did the bat get plonked down on the ground? I'll leave that for others to judge.
Direct hits are always close. And they see on the 3 line, if they push in, well fielded. There's another wicket.
Yeah, the front court all over that ball. Mia Perrin well short of her ground. As we watch the first guard there on the offside.
Yeah. You could see her move towards the ball and she wanted it. That's what they need right now.
Of course, our broadcast partner, Sportscast, bringing these wonderful images. So all of a sudden, a couple of wickets in a row. Here's another chance, gone begging. I think that she would have been absolutely on toast, Emily Edwards.
Yeah, some batter had to run around the leg side fielder. And it's good to see that Croydon have brought a bit of intensity here, and it seems like, I don't know whether it's the music or what it is, but they're up and about, and that's a really good comeback to keep that skin to 24.
Yeah, and 24 is more what you traditionally see in an indoor cricket skin. You mentioned it earlier on, you're kind of looking around at 30.
30 is a really good score. 25 plus is what you're pushing for.
So yeah, well, if 30 is your average, we'll say 5 either side. 25 to 35 is pretty acceptable.
Yeah.
But that's good. I do echo Adelaide's sentiments that they do have a bit of pep in their step here, Croydon. That's what you really like to see about your cricketers. 77's been belted on the board. They're only halfway through, but they're still keen. They've still got that really good attitude.
Yeah.
And I always...
all it takes is one person to dive and take a ripper catch, or someone to be clapping in the face of the batter to really get the team up and about. So it's good to see. And
this is Bridget skating, and she's going to be a really difficult customer to be able to navigate through. Very awkward.
Ooh. With
that ball. It just kind of floats and wobbles down there. It's very tricky.
Yeah, it dips. I think that's what catches the batters out of it.
Third ball opportunity presents itself here. It's awfully short, that delivery. A lot of time for the batters.
If those 3 lines, if they push in and get over that 3 line as a ball's been bowled, they get an extra couple of metres forward, and that's what's going to create a run out on that 3 line. Yep. If they're sitting back, it's really tough to take run outs in that position.
So of course, once the bowler has released that Burleigh Seacombe indoor cricket ball, that person on the 3 line is more than entitled to go into the front court. And the foot doesn't need to be planted either for those playing the home game. You can have your foot in the air over the other side of the court.
There you go. Didn't know that.
It's it's when the ball's planted. Correction, when the foot is planted, I should say. So Croydon not having too many third ball opportunities created in their 2 games. They've only had the 1. In their first game, they didn't create any. And they had 1 last time, and they've created a couple here on the trot. So that's good to see from Croydon.
Yep, dots bring wickets. Sometimes when the first pair's made 50 odd, you go searching for that wicket a little too much rather than just working for the dot balls and trying to build that pressure from dot balls. So it's good to see that that's what they've gone for.
Bree Wilson, she's a real wicket-taking machine. I'd put a big portion of my next pay that there'll be a wicket here in her 2 overs. I don't get paid very much, so it's not really a big loss, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if she proves me right. Bree Wilson playing 2 games. She, in one of her other games, she had to bowl 3 overs. Obviously, there was an injury due to one of her teammates.
It's well played. Decided it was a good ball and should try run over the top of it. And again, with the 3-liner sitting back, it's a risk-free run.
Chance if she can hit, just can't get the ball into the mitts. Sometimes there's that temptation to begin to dream about what you can do once that ball's been released and the stumps light up, but got to get in the mitt first. Playing very straight. Adelaide Campion talked about it earlier on. Really nice high elbow and hitting straight through the ball.
Yeah, it's
Lucy
good to
Page.
watch. Must have some good coaches down there. Getting them to play straight.
So 94 is the score, and we were talking about big scores and how, because these athletes are slightly younger, there might be some more runs leaked. On the adjacent court to us, there's another game happening, which is Northcote taking on the Seahawks. And similar scores. 91, Northcote are on after 12 overs. That's now pushed to 94 just as I speak to you. So big scores are the order of the day in this particular division on this particular court.
I'm currently coaching the Northcote side over there. A few of them are in our 17s team, so I'm trying not to watch over there too much.
Yeah. The number 9 over there.
It's a huge skin.
She's yeah, they've done quite there. So you're the Northcote custodian at the moment. Another no ball. They're well above their quota of extras at the moment, Croydon. And no ball front foots. Gee, they're one of those ones that are super avoidable.
Yeah. And not on that delivery, but on a lot of the other ones, they've been hitting 2s and 1s off them, so they end up getting 4 off one ball. And it hurts.
Again, leg side. I don't want to be overly critical, but you know, commentators commentate. That's your job. You got to say something, and I'm saying that it'd be really wonderful if they could just tighten these lines up a little bit more. Another no ball front foot.
Oh, well fielded.
Oh, interesting call. I'd like to see if we can get a replay on it. I don't know if we can. I'll put Sportscast on under the pump. Nothing like something without notice. Let's just see if we can watch. We'll watch it after this delivery. Let's keep our eyes on, I think it's the leg side sweep, which is all. Yes, and you can see there, top left of screen, Andrew Parker.
Good call. He's onto it.
Well, that's why indoor cricket umpires are on $170,000 a year. Obviously, I'm mucking around. I'm having a bit of fun. Cricket Australia will be like, Gaz, don't say that stuff, bro.
Who knows? We might get an influx of umpires everywhere.
Yeah. Get right into it. There's a chance that is out. I don't think it was, but yeah, it was well worth an appeal. It's a really good call there. So just dawdling into the front half of the court. Yeah, making the ground well there.
I can see that they're creating a lot more chances, and they're just a fraction off taking them. There's been... Oh, they've gone for 2 here.
Double run.
Well run. It's good communication between the batters there. It's really tough in a loud centre, and it's good to see that. Oh, Pokes, that's not fair. Is this a media fine, Addy Campion? Surely it's a media fine if I read out her comments as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty dirty way to go about it, Addy, but hey, look, you know, I'll support you on that.
She's the queen of media fines anyway. She's her photos up everywhere.
Yeah, she's quite the indoor cricket superstar is Bryony Polkinghorne.
Absolute superstar. That's well bowled there. If they can get a wicket here and bring this back to 35, that's a big difference here.
Good fielding, excellent fielding, not given out, unfortunate.
She's been good on that leg side. She's been pretty clean with her hands, and unlucky there.
Bridget Skating, the smallest player on the Croydon outfit, or in the Croydon outfit. Contrast that with the 2 batters that are coming out now. Alice O'Brien and Aisling O'Farrell. Some pretty long levers there. Maybe some back net materials coming along, but you know what? sizes and everything when it comes to the indoor cricket plays?
She's one of my favourite players to watch because she is always smiling. Look at her. She just rubs off on everyone with a beaming smile, so it's good to see her out there.
Yeah, the culture of an indoor cricket team is certainly something that's highly valued.
A little bit of dancing going along.
Certainly does bring into the atmosphere of the sport. Adelaide Campion's going to leave us. She's out.
I'll be back.
No worries.
We are bringing in Sophie Jennings now. Bit of a superstar herself.
Chance here for a wicket.
Great catch.
Oh, well done. As we watch that replay, we'll have Sophie Jennings come on into the broadcast. Thanks very much, Adelaide Campion, for coming through.
Jesus. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Sophie Jennings?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. If you just joined the broadcast, this is the 2019 National Indoor Cricket League coming to you from Casey Stadium. My name's Gary Lowe. I'm joined here by Sophie Jennings, and you've come into the combox at the exact right time. You're a good luck charm for the wrong team.
Good luck charm for the wrong team.
Yes.
As soon as I said I'll come on, I was like, no, Addie, stay. I'm on the wrong.
Yeah. What have you done?
No, but it was. I mean, it was a good wicket. It was a good catch. You have to respect it.
So Jasmine Gouldson getting the breakthrough for Croydon.
I got to respect the hair. I mean,
You like it? Is it a?
I feel like in blocking you could just swing it around.
Yeah, I'm a man with very, very few hair follicles on top of my bonds. I've got the cue ballectomy going. I don't have anything going on. So is that a braid? Is that what they call
yeah,
it?
that's a braid.
That's a braid, yes.
Oh, wow. I think it's been a good game. Some high scores.
It is, and we were just discussing that actually before you joined, Soph, that this game's 119 after 13 overs, and on the court adjacent to us, they're kind of up 115s, 120s. So
yeah,
things moving along quite nicely.
Big scores, big chases.
And do you think that is down to the courts here, or the standard of play that these players are just a little bit smaller, so there's a little bit more kind of space out there? And
yeah, it's a bit of both. I mean, I haven't played on Casey yet, but I've trained on it a few times, and it's a little bit different because I think it's so new, and it's a springier. The grass is a little bit long. Oh, the AstroTurf's a little bit longer, so it's a little bit different. Spins a lot more actually, but also they're all new girls. I mean, well, not all, but most of them are new girls to the sport completely, and they're a little bit smaller, and they're learning about stopping the ball from the back net and everything. And they're learning about extras as well.
Yes, they surely are. And learning about extras is an understatement. They are getting an absolute education of a lifetime here today.
Yeah. Well, I know a few of the girls from the Croydon team are outdoor players, and I think they're struggling with the run-up and how short it is compared to outdoor. I mean, in outdoor you can just take as many steps as you like.
Yeah, you can come in off the back fence if you so choose.
Yeah. So I think that's probably a big struggle for a lot of the girls. I mean, I struggled with it when I first started playing. Was you just want to run in your 20 steps and you only have like 5 or 7 or.
Can be quite an adjustment. That ball there very short, but getting through to the keeper. So of course the NICL brings together some of the world's best players in indoor cricket to compete against one another in a national competition. Over 70 teams across Australia will be playing regular matches this season. 9 men's divisions, 6 women's, as we see another no ball.
A lot of teams. There
is an awful lot of teams. There's a great deal of indoor cricket rolling around.
Oh, it's growing so massively, so quickly. It's nice to see, actually.
And the live streams, it'd be a real travesty if we weren't able to bring the talent of Victoria out to each and every single one of you, and it moves around from state to state. A couple of weeks ago it was in Western Australia.
Oh yeah, I watched that. My mum and I watched it.
You tuned it in?
Yeah, she's a big outdoor fan, watching the outdoor, and she recognised, is it
Josh Philippi?
Yeah, she loved that. She's not a cricket player herself, but she loved watching it and going, I know you.
Yeah. What's Mum's name?
Sue.
Hi, Sue. And Sue, can I tell you something? If you don't mind watching your BBL players participate in the National Indoor Cricket League, there is an absolute avalanche of people you can watch. There's Clive Rose, Mackenzie Harvey, Trent Lawford, Clint Hinchcliffe. We talked about Josh Philippi, Tennille Pichel, Tegan McFarlane, Amanda Wellington, Carly Leeson, So there is an absolute cohort of outdoor cricketers that participate in the NICL. So, Sue, tune in, get out the popcorn, have a lemonade. Enjoy your National Indoor Cricket League action as we see no ball adding to the score, 137. Things starting to get a bit out of control here, the Casey Stars.
Yeah.
They're really pushing ahead now. Isn't wide.
This is a good game because these girls are actually both, the Croydon team is all a team of the Vic under-14s white girls team, and then Casey's the Vic under-14s blue team. So it's almost like a practice scratch match for nationals, basically. You know, we're getting to have, you know, a game before nationals to check each other out. You know, so it's actually quite exciting to watch.
And you can't even really plan it much more perfect than this because it's in this very same venue in which you're going to be playing
Exactly.
in. There's a very healthy crowd behind us. We've got the live streams on. Chance for a catch. Gee, it was all arms and legs. It was like an octopus down there in the front court. Just couldn't grab it.
I would love to see this as the grand final. Get some Vic uniforms on there.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect for me.
I could. You're certainly not biased in any
no
regard.
way biased.
No. Bit of an effort ball, just pushed wide.
We have Ash O'Farrell on strikers looking for the second run. She's the only girl in the Casey side who's played before, so she's looking for these sneaky runs and hitting a bit more of the technical down-ups than the other girls because she's had a bit of experience.
Good bit of insight there from Sophie Jennings. So yeah, of course in indoor cricket the ball's never dead, and you might find a few cheeky players out and about that don't mind taking the extra run. And absolutely brutal and savage too. I mean, they're coasting along. They're waiting for the scoreboard to change. I think they're about 140 something because we see Montana Phillips, who's had really big support on social media. So I know that they'll all be watching Montana Bowl. Yes, 149 the total for Casey, and still chasing the runs and loving the music. It's been a real theme for it. The batters out there.
You know, these are under 14 girls, and they just, you know, a few of them were asking if there was ad breaks so they could dance in the ad breaks to the music. And they said yes and no to a few just to see if some people actually dance on court, but no, it's good. And I think you play your best cricket when you're actually enjoying it and having
100%.
fun. Especially at a younger age group, you know. You know, if you're smiling, you're going to be hitting more runs and bowling better and all that. Same goes for dancing, I guess.
153 the total. This is the last over of this batting partnership. It's a good bit of fielding, and yes, the finger goes up, caught short.
Yeah. That was good. It was good communication, unintentional block.
Just keep your eyes on O'Farrell there at the top left of your screen. Oh, this is good stuff. Sportscast, you little beauties. Bringing you some quality indoor cricket. I know the indoor cricketing purists will love that side camera profile.
Yeah. It was such a clean pick-up and throw. She knew exactly where she was throwing. She knew how much time she had. It was good.
So still fighting here is Croydon. Still searching for the wicket. And you may see some players fall over a bit. And that is quite synonymous with new turfed floor coverings. You'll see it quite often that people will dub their toes into the thing and they'll trip and they'll fall. It happens more often than you think. So if you see a couple of people out there that look like a young Bambi on the ice, that's the rationale behind that one.
You might end up with a few blooper reels going
Yeah,
after.
the blooper reels.
That was good there because, you know, there was no run out, there was no wicket, but she kept it off the net well, and you had the point fielder come in to field it as well. And those things don't, you know, equal to -5s, but they do equal to lesser scores.
Just skipping through as we see Maddie right over to the right of the commentary box, barking orders at her squad.
Oh, Maddie's good. She's passionate. She loves the girls. She loves the sport.
Yeah.
But she can have a loud voice if you've heard one.
Yes, she does. I feel like I've been calling her name over the microphone for many years. She's only a young lady herself, but she's been involved in the sport for such a long time.
Yeah. I remember always going, all right, girls, I want you to yell louder than her, all right?
Yeah, oh, gee, good luck.
Because even if, you know, you have the whole team going, they might not be as loud as her. It's a big score.
Yeah, it is 155. I want you to put your coach's cap on for me, Sophie Jennings. You're speaking to Croydon now. I want you to change shirts. I know.
All right, I've changed my shirt.
Change your shirts. I know you're Casey Stars, but Croydon, what do you say to them? 155 is what they need.
Oh, well, you just can't look at the scoreboard. You can't look at the skin. You can't look at the total. I mean, as soon as you start chasing something, it's all your focus is going to be on that. You know, how many you did an over. Oh, no, I didn't hit that certain ball. You know, you just got to go out there and imagine it's the start of a whole new game. If you get the skin and you get the big score, that's fine. But you just got to take each ball on its merit, you know what I mean? Because you might end up getting a bunch of extras and a bunch of different things like that.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to capitalise on the full tosses and the short balls if you're thinking about the total. So you just got to go out there, think about your partner and have fun. And you might end up getting the 24 skin or the 37 skin and end up taking the game maybe. But
that's some very sage advice, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, that second skin there at 24. I know that if I was putting on my Croydon Raiders coach's cap, I'd be throwing some heavy firepower at that second skin. Be good to come away with at least something.
Yeah.
So I'd be putting my strongest two in there, no doubt about it.
Sometimes when you're a new, inexperienced team, you know, and you get one skin, you know, you haven't won the match, but you can sometimes celebrate more than the winning team because you've gotten that skin and you've gotten that win over someone. And, you know, with a score like that, I guess some people going, oh, they won't get anything, they're looking at thrash. But if you get that one skin, then you feel like you've won over them anyway because you've gotten something you weren't, you know, people are going, you're not going to get that, and then you got it, so you feel like you've won something, you know.
Yeah.
So it's always good.
It is one of the pretty cool nuances with the sport of indoor cricket that, you know, and this is a perfect example of it. It's 155, yet there's still a game within the game that's occurring here, and you can get that 1 point from that batting partnership. Of course, if you're a young athlete or even an older athlete and you think it's pretty cool that you can play your game and have it broadcast right around the world, well, you too can also be involved. Head to playcricket.com.au to find your nearest centre. At the conclusion of this game, there will be some interviews. We're not too sure if it's going to be with the team captains, but it'll certainly be with the management of either one of these two teams. That exclusive content can only be listened to at the Yellow Ball podcast, the only dedicated indoor cricket podcast. Spotify, Whooshka, iTunes, some brilliant stuff. Some international guests coming along. We're going to have some New Zealand representation in a couple more weeks' time. We're going to have a special South Africa guest. That guest's name will be released on the Monday night podcast. So it's a lot of exciting stuff. The Yellow Ball podcast. Get involved.
Here we go. Big first ball.
And it's a no ball over the waist.
Yeah. The big I think the first ball is like equally nerve-wracking for each fielder, the bowler, the keeper, and the batter. You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's the first ball. Vash here bowls massive swing, but, you know, I think she's struggling a little bit with the indoor ball to get a bit of acclimatized to it. So we had a training beforehand and, you know, mixing it up with how much direction, how across her fingers are going to the ball. It's good. A lot of these young kids are just so coachable, you know, they're willing to just, you know, try anything, do anything to learn the sport. So it's good.
Yeah, Vash here certainly getting some good swings. We see that one hoop around, controlling it pretty well. I'd dare suggest that ball's going to trickle to the back. The batter's got absolutely no interest whatsoever in going for another run. With Laura Shaw running around the commentary box down the side, going over to her team.
She's an active coach. She likes to be encouraging the girls on the side, talking to the girls out the front. She's, you know, you can see that jump. I don't know if you could see that or not. She's an active coach.
And bowled, the zing bars light up, gone, skittled. Brianna Watson straight through the defences. That ball goes back to 0 as we watch the replay.
She had the right idea with going back and across for the slap on the offside. I just think the angle of her bat, and she was a little bit squared up towards the end, but it's the right idea, I guess. Tony and Maddie and Monty will work on that one with her.
So Vash gets another wicket, which is her 5th wicket in this NICL season.
1 for 2 are pretty good figures. We'll be happy with that day.
Yeah, she is a very handy player. In terms of her team, she contributes the most, a run average of 20. Gives her an overall average game contribution of positive 16, which is the best in the Casey Stars outfit. So it'll be Emily Edwards here. They've got plenty to play with in terms of the overall total, 155 and 53.
Emily Edwards is a country kid. She's all the way from Swan Hill. It's a long trek each time for training and for games, the 4-hour drive. It's good to get a few regional girls down.
So I certainly know that there are a lot of viewers right across the country who are tuning in, not only to watch these athletes play. Gee, that's a wonderful delivery.
You got a cheeky smile as you walk by. That was a good ball. The swing was good.
And even a wry little smile to the commentary box. There's Emily Edwards.
I think Jasmine, the batsman then who was facing the ball, I think she's struggling a little bit with the head positioning for those 3 balls. She gets her foot forward each time, but she's not always getting her head over the ball, which makes it harder to hit, especially when it's hooping like that.
Well, that's an outstanding over there for Emily Edwards. She had that on an absolute string. And well on top here are the Casey Stars. And as we were talking about just previously, I know a lot of people will be tuning in to see the athletes, but also to see the standard of the facilities here at Casey. Of course, they completed the first half of Casey in 2017. Casey Stadium is one of the most prominent state-of-the-art and versatile indoor sporting venues throughout Victoria, servicing the forever expanding community of Casey and the broader southeast Melbourne region, and it is an absolute monster. I walked in here for the first time today, and I needed a Segway or a little golf cart or something like that to get me around.
Oh man, I mean, when I was driving and I got lost in the car park.
It is absolutely enormous. The city of Casey. They're looked after very well here. Chance. And given out. There was a little bit of a think there by the umpire.
Close call.
Eyes are white there at the receiver's end. Maybe with a slight bobble, but then getting it in. We'll watch the replay. Judge for yourself. Oh, it'd be touch and go. I'm happy to give that to the umpire.
I think the important thing with the touch and go decision there was the sliding of the bat. It was more of a putting it down over the line instead of the sliding it in, which it makes it harder to tell, and it's a little bit, if you're sliding it in, you can put it in a lot faster and get your arm reached a little bit further, so.
So you're watching the Casey Stars taking on the Croydon Raiders. Sophie Jennings has already made it known that this is the 2 Victorian sides that will be competing at the Indoor Cricket National Championships that will be happening here in Casey. Another third ball opportunity presents itself. There's a chance if she can hit. She turns. Did well to get the ball into the hands, and it was a pretty quick release too, but just missing the stumps. It's hard to fault that though. It was a pretty good effort.
It's a good over. I'm very impressed with the Casey girls, because with the injury with the batting to Flip, their fielding was 7. Oh, yeah, they're fielding 1 down because Flip's on the sidelines. So it's impressive the traffic they can make when you're a young girl running around. She looks okay. I checked her out before, but always with head injuries and younger girls, you just want to be a little bit more cautious. So yeah,
I'm interested as to why they haven't brought on, because they can bring on another player. Things start to get a little bit tricky when we enter into this territory. So there's a difference between a replacement player and a substitute player.
Yes. We actually don't have either. We've had a bit of a woe with injuries.
You don't have
No, one of our girls is at home with gastro.
Oh dear.
She was our backup player. That's a good catch. That was just a ball quarter in an outdoor mode. Hitting it up instead of down. Classic up down instead of down up.
Yeah, just playing that ball probably a little bit too far in front of her instead of just waiting for it to come a little bit closer and playing the ball well under the eyes with a nice high elbow. That's okay. They'll reset here. Mia Perrin's going to look for another one right away. It's a pretty good indoor cricket shot, that.
That was good.
Chasing it down is Emily Edwards in the front court. Casey Starr's just refusing to give Croydon a sniff of anything here at the moment.
Got Mia, the keeper having a bit of a bowl. She's a strong bowler. That was perfect service.
It was right over the top of the stumps, and if it was to be a run out, that one needed to be a direct hit. This is the last ball in the last over of this batting pair. And it will be re-bowled. Of course, all no balls and wides may be re-bowled at the batter's request in the last over of each batting pair. Brings in a certain degree of complexity in terms of who you're going to bowl.
It often makes close skins a little bit more exciting because, you're never really truly out of it,
So to be... you can... is Bridget's surname pronounced Skating? Scatting, is it?
Scatting?
Scatting?
Yeah.
I've been calling it Scatting. I thought maybe you might
No.
might have known, but that's okay.
Emily O'Meara. I know that one. No, both. Two very good players.
So Emily O'Meara averaging 19 runs this NICL season, or National Indoor Cricket League season. And Bridget Skating averaging 21. So if you're one to go by the numbers and you're a stats type person, this batting pair should be 40.
It's well left. I think you can tell the sign of a confident batter, especially when they're quite inexperienced, is if they're willing to leave a ball or not, because, you're feeling very confident and you feel like you have a very good understanding of the game if you're able to leave balls. Especially with the leg side rule being a little bit different to outdoor and everything.
Well, I've got no doubt that these two batters will be breaking down how many runs they need each over. So 6 would be their target. There's no reason for kamikaze missions like that one. It makes their job inherently harder. Emily O'Meara just not having kind of cricket maturity to go, maybe not on this one, we might just not run, just send them back. Doesn't always have to be tipsy runners we used to play in the backyard.
Yeah, generally when you have the bowler straight in front of the stumps, you don't really want to run then. It wasn't too hard for Lucy to hit that stumps there. It was good from Bridget there. Kept it low, kept to the net.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Bridget Skating. She was outstanding in the field and her bowling was right on point. She gets a little bit of traffic down intentional. I wouldn't dare dream that at this level that there would be intentional blocking going on, but a little bit of traffic occurring there. See this shot, I'm sure it'll be along the carpet. Oh, it's a no ball. That's good. So they're at 3 for that skin. They really want it to be at 6, so I'm sure then they'll be moving it up to 9. Just moving the goalposts as they go.
Yeah. Sometimes you find when you're a bit more of an experienced player and you can see, you want to get this many runs an over, but if you get someone you're not going to do well against, you can just make sure you don't get any outs that over and focus on a different bowler. It's hard. I don't think these girls are fairly new. They don't really have that level of experience. But chase, sometimes you can level like that, and instead of capitalising on an over, you can fight back and get no wickets. Oh, it's a good ball. I always like things spinning indoor.
Yeah, get amongst it. Eyes are white, just played the one game. Taking a wicket and conceding 8 runs. At this standard of cricket, you do tend to find that these awkward and clunky deliveries that are floated up there, and the batter doesn't know whether to come forward or back, and they stay back and the ball's jumped up too high on them, or they come forward and they don't get quite to the pitch of the ball.
Yeah.
They're very effective bowlers at this level. I love it. And there it is.
There we go.
And look, it's a good shot. I mean, that'd be 4 runs at the Gabba, the MCG or Lords. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen. But in this sport, that is swallowed like a fish down a pelican's mouth, that one.
I mean, she completely middled it. I'll give her that. She saw it quite well. It's just sometimes you can fall into a trap when you have a spinner bowling slowly like that. You can, as you said, you get the eyes light up and you're a kid in a candy store because you've gotten that ball. You can hit for 4, but you've got a net bouncing it right back to you. I'm pretty sure I've fallen trapped to that once or twice before. So.
Yeah, there's certainly no lack of talent coming from young Bridget.
Mm.
So she's clearly got good hand-eye coordination.
I think I'm pretty sure she's a soccer player. So she's good on her feet. There we go, that's a good catch.
That one just floating down. She might need to get a little bit of chalk for the pool cue for that one. It's come right off the toe and just floated through as we watch the replay. Thanks to our broadcast partners at Sportscast, doing an outstanding job in the 2019 National Indoor Cricket League.
I think she was half-minded going, oh no, I should have hit this down, and she didn't fully commit to hitting it down or hitting it up in the air, so you got a bit of a halfway shot.
Yeah, just caught in 2 minds.
And obviously the Casey team has seen the hesitance to spin and put another spinner on straight away. I mean, I think they know this is their more vulnerable skin, and if you find a weakness, they're going to definitely ram into that straight away. Ash being a spinner as well.
Yeah, they might want to try and take advantage of the spinny because it's coming on a little bit faster, might make life a little bit easier as opposed to waiting. I think Bridget skating and Emily O'Meara might look for some back net here because this could be the over where they get things back on track for the skin. And unfortunately just getting the concrete boots on there.
Yeah. I think when you've had a hard over, the confidence kind of washes away a little bit. So some shots she might be able to have been a hit in the first over. She's a little bit hesitant now. That was better though. Wasn't completely down. It wasn't a complete slap shot, but you could tell the intention to hit it down was there as opposed to some of the other shots she's played.
Really getting some fizz. You could tell that was a bit of an effort ball. You could almost hear it.
Yeah. It was actually smart from O'Meara because she'd moved across because she knew where the spin was going and she was giving herself room on a certain side she feels more comfortable on. But it was just Ash had a very good effort ball when she noticed she was going to do that. So I like the competition of, who's going to adjust to who and battle of wits. It's a good amount of spin as well off the ground.
So as you can see on your screens right there, 8 very, very happy indoor cricketers in lime green. And down at the striker's end, Bridget skating. Right up against the ropes, but still with a smile on her dial. Adelaide Campion talked about it. She's one of her favourite players to watch for that very reason. Flicked off the legs there for 2 runs.
I think it's one of the most important things when you have when you're batting, whether you're winning or losing, getting the amount of runs you want or not. as I said before, you're playing your best cricket when you're smiling. So that's why we try and get our girls to dance and jump around, create some traffic and some skipping high fives, because it just makes a better energy. See, in the men's game beforehand, there was, you know, every ball someone's jumping around, someone's jumping on someone, or someone. You know,
Yeah, they're up and about.
it's a very loud game, and that always makes people a little bit more intense, a little bit more effort balls in there. You know, you feel like you have a little bit more. You go to 102% instead of 100% when you have the whole team around you.
Yes, certainly from a personal perspective, when I was coaching, this could be out here. It's come off the glove, I think you'll find. And yes, given out by umpire Parker, it's a good decision that.
Yeah.
I was coaching a young side, an under 12 side possibly, in a little town called Kawana on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. And the very first skill that we taught was how to celebrate a wicket.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was we'd hit the ball off the net, they'd catch it, and then we'd all run in, we'd do the huddle, and they chose that they wanted to do the hands in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, who are we? Crows and double clap. That's what they wanted to clap.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, kids, that's for you.
I like when the kids get excited about something like that, because, you know, it might just be a double clap or a
Yeah,
or something, you know.
they wanted their own.
It's exciting.
Yeah, they wanted to put their own footprint on it. So no, it's all you. And look, the good news is, even if you don't take a wicket, you still get to do it 16 times, once at the end of every over.
Exactly.
So that's still something.
Exactly. We got the Casey girls all running into the centre square for the netball as soon as the wicket's been taken. You know, it's almost like a race to see who can get there, and the three liners always seem to win except for the keeper.
Well, Sophie Jennings, thanks very much for your insights into the broadcast. Will you be back, or are you shunning us now? And
I don't know. I think I want to be back. I like doing
Well, we
this.
certainly love having you here. So if you return, that's beautiful. And if you don't, thanks very much for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, my absolute pleasure. So as we wait for Adelaide Campion to get the cans back on the bonce, she comes in and things are looking mighty difficult here for Croydon.
Yeah, it's been a great bowling performance.
Yeah,
from
it has been.
From the Stars. It's a lot of talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, put the game up on the hoist for me a little bit, mate. Where do you see state of play from when you were here last to where we are now?
I think the wides and the no balls have really hurt at the end of the innings as well. Oh, you've given that.
Whoops.
Jeez.
Well, commentator had his finger in the air. I'd like to see a replay for it.
Yeah, direct hits are often out.
And gee, I'm a real pretty big advocate for umpires too, so I don't want to burn him.
Ooh.
Nah,
I think it's a good call.
I think it's a great call.
He's been good today.
The umpire, of course, always in the best position to view the game. If we were in a better position, the umpire would be umpiring from here instead of up there.
I'm a shocking umpire. I just trigger everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
got him. And they're off. Caught in the middle. We'll see the replay there. I think that you'll find that the receiver, Isa White, did break the stumps, but the base plate was still in place. And all I need to do, the ball just needs to hit.
She didn't move the base, did she? No.
That's completely fine.
Yeah.
And even if that base plate is off centre, as long as some part of that base plate is on that line, it can be off skewed. It just needs that.
So even like a corner or something, that's all right?
The corner's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
The tiniest little piece. If you can think of the tiniest bit of white down there that's on the court and the tiniest bit of metal, as long as they are connected and touching.
I might start. Oh, I fielded.
It's completely okay.
I might start trying to move the stumps around it while I'm receiving and see if I can
Yeah.
get a few more direct hits.
I think
Is that
you'd be
allowed?
the only person in history to try it, but you could. Well, yeah. If you had the ability to move those stumps around and have it still be on the thing.
You'd look a
That
little
would be
bit
very
silly if you
legal.
messed it up, but it's well fielded by Ash in the front court.
So
Well
it's
bowled.
quite often when you see the stumps that are fully on the ground as well, you know, people just put their foot on the base plate and just kind of flick it down to get those stumps back up right away. So they just kind of stomp on the base plate. Yeah. Sometimes if you have some inexperienced Oh,
and
that could be
again,
close. Yes, it is gone. Gee,
fantastic fielding.
they are absolutely red hot here, Croydon, this evening.
Yeah. For such a young player, Ash has played a fair few years at a high level, and she just reads it off the nets really well there, and direct hits.
And in particular, what I like there from O'Farrell is she didn't panic. She watched the ball all the way into the hands. Probably could have slapped it, but she took the more safer option. And why not when you have time like that on your side?
Yeah.
Be safe and get the wicket. Absolutely no issues in the world there as the batsmen try to pull the wool over the umpire's eyes and get someone swapped over. But, yeah, that was really smart cricket. The crowd really enjoying the DJ. The DJ really does bring a good dimension to it. You see it at the national tournaments, generally only in the semi-finals and grand finals.
Yeah. No, it's good. All our trainings, like with the girls, we try and have music going, and you can tell the difference in the fielding when there's no music and when there's music.
Yeah. And in particular, if you're out here there was lots of teams training. There was a real hive of activity here at Casey Stadium, but if you're the only team training, indoor cricket centres can be pretty quiet places when there's nothing else going on. It's almost like practicing in a library, it's it's pretty quiet. So
I was also sitting on Casey's bench just before and was reading their board, and it had improvements on there, and apparently their singing needs a lot of improvement.
It needs to be chalked up a little bit. Yeah, bit off key.
So it's good to see them having a little improvement section there. I think it was specifically Laura Shaw's singing. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Shawry.
Yeah, she's been hammered today, poor old Shawry. Put through the absolute ringer. So even with fielding with the 7, Croydon's still well on top, surging ahead.
Yeah, they've had some really good strike bowlers that have just hit their areas, and they've just controlled the game. Big differences between the innings for me have been your extras and like the intensity in the field. Like they're taking their chances, there's direct hits, they're up and about, and that's really tough for a batter to walk into that.
Not out is the call from Andrew Parker, not wanting absolutely anything to do with it, the umpire. So she runs in at 100 miles an hour, does Mia Perrin. Stands at the top of her mark, just flicking the ball around in her hands, considering, contemplating what delivery's coming up next. What will she deliver?
Great areas.
And it was in that...
Oh. Looked close as well.
It did look very close. It was in that very awkward hip region.
Yeah.
So we watched the replay, just cramping her up a little bit, unable to go anywhere other than just to pat it back. Or maybe the wicketkeeper just not gloving that ball appropriately, in the opinion of the umpire.
She's bowling some nice little outies as well, so not only is it good areas, but it's doing a little bit, and it's really tough to work into the gaps.
That's Vaish there on the offside 3 position.
How good was her bowling?
Yeah, she was absolutely lethal this evening.
She is a talent. It's awesome sitting behind her and just seeing the movement and the control.
And it's just like, how are you under 14 even? Like, seriously. Like, imagine how strong of a player she'll be when she's 17, 18, 19. And
yeah.
Like, she's just got superstar.
She batted well as well. Same with Isa White. She bowled really well early on.
Just to the left of screen there, you can see Laura Shaw. She's responsible for this Croydon outfit.
Up the Raiders. Had to get it in there.
Sorry, I said Croydon outfit. She's looking after the Casey Stars, of course. She's looking after the Casey Stars, is she not? Yes.
Yeah. Despite being a Croydon player.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Izza's first over, so keen to see her second. See if she can execute again.
So we're not happy with something. We're waiting on...
Oh, the batter's just getting
Just
ready.
a battery adjustment. Third ball, the non-striker will be on her bike pretty quickly, and she is. She scurries down. It's a fine line to tread when you're the non-striker. Don't want to overcommit.
Yeah, and bit of traffic in that front court. Sneaky block from Ash.
Tossing it up right. Oh, that's almost out, and that's almost out too, and it's given
Well
out.
done. It was a really good pick up there. Bounced just in front of her and then quick release.
So I think you might find that she takes the ball over the stumps, and then, yeah, there would have been some portion of her hand that would have broken those bars. So we're going right into our... This is a real rules evening, this one. So with the rules, as long as it's your elbow below, so you can break it with your forearm as well. So if you're, as long as the hand has got the ball in it, you can break. Or that was very, very close. If the stumps were painted this morning, that probably would have been gone. You can break the bars with your forearm, and then that's okay. So you
I'm
can,
learning a lot tonight. It's good, especially as a receiver. That's good.
you can have your arms just dangling through the stumps, and just keep rolling them around and wait for the ball to get down to you.
Good catch.
Yeah, what other wackadoo rules can I... Ellie, you've been playing indoor cricket for. You've been playing it for ever.
Yeah, since I was probably under 16s. It's great to see the 14s. So many players coming through the 14s program, and they've been such a strong side for Victoria for a while now. So it's good to see them pushing up through the ranks.
Things certainly looking strong in this part of town, and that could be out, and it is out. I think that might have come off the back of the bat.
They're really struggling with the spin, and I'm not sure she wanted the ball to go quite there.
I think she's played through the shot, and it hasn't come off the back of the bat. The indoor cricket gods are just furious at the moment with Croydon. They can do nothing right. It's almost not fair because you can see that they're trying their absolute guts out. There's no lack of effort. There's no lack of commitment.
And it's quite easy as a battle when it's not going your way just to try and hit out of trouble. But it was good to see that they did stick to what they know and still tried to play good indoor shots. And it just didn't come off. And that's part of the game. Yeah,
and that's one thing that I've always said while I've been broadcasting indoor cricket is, sometimes the skill level's not there. That's okay. You can only play as good as you can possibly play. But, you drop the bundle, there's no excuse for that. You can still try. Your attitude's something that you can always maintain and determine, no matter what. That's something that can always be a premier standard. Can always be an A-grade, top quality standard, no matter what. Tend to have got that from when I was playing. My skill ability was absolutely horrific, but I had a pretty good attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, okay, well, that's the 4th time in a row I've been run out. Things are getting a bit sad over here, but you can still try your best.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important.
For the next pair going in, it's really important for them to see them still looking positive and trying to finish off the last over as best as possible. I know we keep going back to it, but it is such a momentum game, and so even if you can work an extra couple of twos at the end of your partnership, it all counts. They've been sharp in the field.
I was about to say, the Stars, they're just not resting. Croydon are on 2, and the girls are like, we want more. They are savage individuals out there, the ones in lime green today. They are absolutely ruthless.
Oh, there you go. Great shot for 5. Corners are safe zones always.
Getting a warm round of applause from the fans here. Lucy Page getting hit to the back net. She'll look for another wicket here. There's a chance.
She just didn't slide it back. They're very composed for a young side. Oh.
Is that an aura of good or aura of bad?
I think if she had slid her bat a little bit earlier, or, reached out, it would have made it really tough.
Yeah, she did a lot of the leg work, metaphorically speaking and literally.
Well bowled. That foolish line just brings the field into play, and we have such a good fielding side, and for Casey, why not keep bowling full?
Yeah, if it's working for you and if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Coming across the stumps, this should be out. Oh no, she's dropped that ball, and that's a good decision too. That's a very good decision. That's White back there, the number 6 for the Casey Stars. $155 Casey Stars. It was a formidable total. It was always going to be a little bit tricky for Croydon, and that's probably a gross understatement.
I wonder if the Raiders have been told here to go for the skin or to keep working twos, or what their mindset is right now. Because if they could drag one skin away from this game, that would be fantastic, but it's going to be tough.
So something interesting's happening there. They've said that the number 5 has to bowl, which is Aisling O'Farrell. So obviously they're a player short, so the batting team would have selected 2 to bowl.
It's an interesting choice to bowl again.
So, well, it should be the 15th and 16th over that they'll bowl. So she obviously had one more over to bowl Aisling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were trying to keep it for the last over or
no,
some
that
such.
makes sense.
Yeah, and then they've gone, no. Aisling's got one more over. She needs to bowl it now. And then, more rules, mate. More rules. And then the 2 bowlers.
Good shot.
The 2 bowlers will be selected by the batting team. And probably a very salient point is that the fielding team decide the order in which those bowlers will bowl.
Yeah.
The batters don't get to dictate that. So quite often, if there's an opportunity, if the fielding team's got their maths wrong and they bowl a weaker bowler in this 14th over, you select them automatically to bowl again because they must bowl in the 16th because they can't bowl consecutive overs for the 14th and the 15th.
Yeah.
So then you know you've got a weaker bowler for the 16th over, which is of course a re-bowl over. Doesn't happen overly often, but it can. Because quite often teams as well, they don't really think about it too much because it's like, well, it's a 14th over, it's not a really big deal, but
yeah.
It can be. As we get really nitty-gritty into the deep dives of indoor cricket this evening.
Just a speaking rule book.
Yes, there's a few.
It's pretty impressive.
So that's another cool one. Because I don't want to quiz you on something, because if you get it wrong, then you look like a real
yeah, please
goose,
don't.
you know what I mean? So that's the last thing I want to be doing is quizzing you on stuff. So I'm heavily surprised that they've asked this young lady to bowl again. Are you sure?
Yeah.
People
I wouldn't want to be facing her. She had to rip a couple of overs. Unless if they've just said bowl who you want to.
So I think that they actually did choose. I mean, we'll have to see. There's Alice. I'm not too sure who the second bowler is. Even Alice is still a pretty handy bowler. But I mean, it's hard to find a chink in the armour with this Croydon team anyway, you know.
Yeah, Casey are full of star bowlers here.
travelling down leg side. The skin's bridge too far from here, so they'll just be looking to get some game practice in. There's no other kind of practice like real game match practice, so I'm sure they'll be taking full advantage to try and get as much experience in as they can.
It's not completely out of the.
You're still alive. Okay. Adelaide here in the commentary box is pretty keen. She thinks that 20 or so off-fade deliveries is something that could possibly be achieved. Back net.
Couple of back nets. Oh. She's lucky she didn't accidentally kick that on. No?
We're talking about, I was saying it to Sophie earlier on, you might see some players fall over from time to time. That is due to the new courts. Like
yeah.
People, and I said they look like clumsy, 4-hour-old deers on ice. Like not as in ice wet, cold, frozen ice, not the other,
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Got to be careful. 2019, mate. Broadcasting coast to coast. Come on, mate.
No, it's very grippy.
They're like just falling over. They're like Bambi, They're just like skidding all over the joint.
I went to do some photos here the first time. I came here on the court, the show court, and straight up, first step on the court, face plant.
Clunked in.
It was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. So you get used to it. So Lucy Page was the final bowler that they select.
There's a chance and taken.
Yeah, that was a really good catch there. I like how she watched it all the way. She was like a seagull on a hot chip, just watched it.
Yeah, and that left net's actually quite springy, so it came back into the middle before the right side of the net's a lot looser, so trying to adjust to that can be tough, so she read it well.
As in camera right? As in
the
way that our
so
viewers
looking
are looking
down,
at it?
The leg side net. It's just a bit looser, and we were doing a bit of training here and found that you had to get a lot closer to the net on that side compared to the offside, which is pretty abnormal for an indoor court. Usually it's pretty consistent. But with this court, having the side.
So, of course, there will be some special content, some interviews with both teams from Casey and Croydon after this game. You can only get a hold of that content on the Yellow Ball podcast. Go to Spotify, Wooshka, iTunes, or wherever you find your podcasts. The Yellow Ball podcast. Get involved. Some pretty cool stuff there. That's going to be 5 runs.
Felt like with this pair, when they've had conviction in their shots and really gone through with it, it's been good to watch.
As we see no ball, so it isn't out.
Don't know if you could hear Maddie behind us.
And the ball will be re-bowled. 7 and a 5 here. Skin could be on. But you know what? It's still healthy. I think it'd be a real travesty if they got out here. I'd love to see him not, because that's a really great total, 27. That's something to take into the next game.
I agree.
I really hope Croydon, I don't want to pick sides, but I really hope they don't get out. And look, 30. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good score. Good skin. And they can take a positive from this game, like you were saying, and use that momentum into next week.
And both umpires out on courts 2 and 3 finishing the games at the exact same time. Good synchronised umpiring. Yeah. That's what we like to see. So we'll put this game up on the hoist very, very briefly. 155-31. It's pretty clear where this game was won and lost. But Addie Campion, any thoughts you'd like to share with the viewers at home in relation to this game?
No, it was a good game. I thought that Casey were pretty clinical with the bat. And played straight, played through the lines, and played smart cricket. There was nothing too risky about what they did. Even when they were hitting the back nets, it was smart. And unfortunately, Croydon just weren't as controlled with the ball, and gave a few too many free runs to them. And I think that was one of the main differences with them.
I certainly think so. And even if you take away the extras that they've bowled and the additional runs that they hit from that score that's less than 100. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there was you know, I don't have a score sheet in front of me, of course, but there was at least 25 in there. You know, they're averaging about 18 to 20 a game as it was. They were well above that strike rate for the amount of sundries they were bowling. So I'm sure that's something that they'll look at fixing up moving forward.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks very much for your thoughts in the commentary box, Adelaide Campion. It was a pleasure having you here.
Oh, thank you.
The next game, of course, is the Seahawks taking on the Cranbourne Kings. That'll be happening at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. From your commentators, Gary Lowe and Adelaide Campion, it's a goodbye just for now from Casey Stadium. White down there that's on the court, and the tiniest bit of metal, as long as they are connected and touching.
I might start. Oh, I fielded.
It's completely okay.
I might start trying to.
Yeah. Sometimes if you have some inexperienced. Oh, that could be close. Yes, it is gone. Gee.
Fantastic fielding.
Waiting what delivery's coming up next. What will she deliver?
Great areas.
And it was in that.
Oh. Looked close as well.
It did look very close. Tossing it up right. Oh, that's almost out, and that's almost out too, and it's given out.
Well done.
Fans here, Lucy Page getting hit to the back net. She'll look for another wicket here. There's a chance.
She just didn't slide it back.
Fans here, Lucy Page getting hit to the back net. She'll look for another wicket here. There's a chance.
She just didn't slide it back.